One of the first things to do would be to define the elements and the loads. As a designer, you'll already have a preliminary idea of the wall and floor buildups, the connection details, and the fire rating you're working towards. The Elements menu lets you fully define the geometric and mechanical properties of the structural elements and the wall connectors. Let's start with wall type. Here, you'll find default definitions for CLT and timber frame systems. Let's take an example of creating a new framed wall. First, give your wall a name. This helps later when you want to edit it or generate quantity takeoffs. Let's say we're working on external wall, first floor. Next, choose the sheathing panel configuration. You can select one side or both sides. If each side is different, make sure to uncheck both sides equal. Now, pick the timber frame material. This will open the materials database. We'll cover that in another video. Once you've selected the material, enter the rest of the details. Frame thickness, wall height, wall width, and average spacing. That's it for the external wall, now ready to be used in the design. You can follow the same process for internal walls, especially if they have different materials or configurations. Now let's look at another example, this time using a CLT wall system. Just like with timber frame walls, you can create a new CLT wall and give it a name to keep your project organized. In this case, I'll call it CLT wall, external first floor. Next, you'll need to select the wall typology. You have two options, monolithic or jointed. Monolithic walls are made from continuous CLT panels without visible joints. They behave as a single solid element, offering higher stiffness and strength. Jointed walls, on the other hand, are assembled from multiple CLT panels connected together. These joints can affect the wall's mechanical behavior, especially under seismic or wind loads. Choose the typology that best matches your design. If you're working with large, uninterrupted panels, go for monolithic. If your wall is built from smaller sections or includes mechanical joints, select jointed. If you select the jointed wall typology, two additional windows will appear: Joint Typology and Joint Properties. In the Joint Typology window, you'll need to enter the standard panel length and choose the type of joint. Options include inclined screws, half-lap joint, butt strap board, double butt strap board, central board, or special fasteners like slot from Rothablas. Once you've selected the joint type, move on to the Joint Properties window. For example, if you've chosen inclined screws, you'll need to select the type of fasteners. Decide whether pre-drilling is required. Set the fastener spacing. These inputs directly affect the mechanical behavior of the wall, so it's important to choose them carefully at this early stage. They'll also be reflected in your drawing details and quantity takeoffs, so accuracy here saves time later. Now let's move on to the stratigraphy of the CLT wall. It's important to select the correct panel cross-section, as this defines the layer arrangement and thickness of your CLT wall. You can either manually choose the cross-section, or select your CLT supplier or manufacturer directly from the database. There are multiple manufacturers available, and you can filter the list to find yours. Once selected, the software will automatically apply the mechanical properties based on your supplier's data, saving time and ensuring accuracy. You also have the option to rotate the panel layers by 90 degrees, which can be useful depending on the structural layout. And if needed, you can modify the proposed mechanical values, especially if you have experimental results or more precise models. This flexibility helps tailor the wall performance to your specific project needs. Once you've entered all the wall characteristics, simply click OK. You'll now see the wall name listed and ready to be used in your project definition. You can follow the same steps to create different wall types, whether for internal walls, external walls, or walls on other floors. And of course, you can always go back and modify existing walls based on load conditions or wall locations. This flexibility helps you keep your design accurate and well organized from the early stages. So, thank you for watching. Drop a comment below or email me with any questions.